Na-stress ako. Ang sakit ng ulo ko, yung batok ko, yung puso mo tumitibok. Hindi naman palagi, and hira lang naman yung mga delivery sa'yo ng Shopee at ng Lazada. That's a good thing, because that is your simple gift to yourself. You will live life to the fullest, not just barely surviving. Hi everyone! Welcome to episode 3 of Hey Joe. So if you don't know me yet and this is your first time in my channel, I'm Joe. I am currently an art teacher for the kids, but I graduated BS Psychology and up to the challenge of spreading mental health awareness using these vlogs. So if you haven't watched my episode 1 and episode 2, please do so after watching this episode so that you can relate with us during our discussions. Okay? So for our third episode, we are going to talk about stress. So we have different topics. Ano ba yung stress? What are the two types of stress? How can we cope with stress? And a short wisdom that we can take away. Alright? Okay, so umpisa na natin. Ano ba yung stress? Most of the time, narinig na natin yon, maybe sa kaibigan natin, or nasabi na rin natin siya every time na sumasakit yung ulo natin sa isang bagay, every time na na-frustrate tayo, nakagawian na natin sabihin na nai-stress ako. Ganon din ako eh. I can relate to that. So, nai-stress ako. Ano ba yan? Ang sakit ng ulo ko, yung batok ko. Okay? So, stress is actually what you experience. It could be a physical or an emotional tension that your body is feeling towards a stressful situation or an outside situation. That outside situation is what we call stressor. Okay, so, example, may sunog sa kapitbahay. Sunog! What can we normally feel? Siyempre, una, pagpapawisan ka, yung tibok ng puso mo, kakabahan ka. So, those are the physical tensions na pwede mong maramdaman, di ba? Emotionally, matatakot ka, maguguluhan ka, you don't know what to do first, but there's an adrenaline as well. So, adrenaline is what gives the ability for a person to do something that they cannot normally do. Parang, yun nga yung lumalabas ng mga balita, di ba, na may mga biglang naging superhero. They can carry a refrigerator or they can carry somebody who's bigger than them. So, yun yung adrenaline. So, that is what stress is. Another example is, pag dumaan yung crush mo, di ba? Yung puso mo tumitibok, nagpapawisan ka, kinikilig ka, ganyan. O kaya, balak mo palang umpisang i-chat yung crush mo, pero yung puso mo tumitibok-tibok ka agad, di mo pa nga nagagawa. So, that's an example of what tension can we feel using a stressor. This time, I want to tell you that stress is not always bad. Stress is not always bad. There are two types of stress. Mukha ko stress. Char. So, there are two types of stress. The positive stress and negative stress. Positive stress, we call it eustress. That's E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S. Eustress. So, eustress, positive stress. So, this is the kind of stress that impacts positively to us. It motivates us, it inspires us, or it excites us. Example, vacation. If it's your first time para mag-vacation sa ibang bansa, syempre, di ba, bago yung lugar, hindi mo alam yung language, syempre, kinakabahan ka. But at the same time, excited ka. Pero, there are some precautions na kailangan ready ka. So, what it makes you is that you become more prepared, inaral mo lahat, you make sure that lahat ng kailangan mo, dala-dala mo, lahat ng pupuntahan mo, may itinerary ka, kumpleto yung kailangan mo, yung pera mo, di ba? Yung passport mo dapat ready. So, that's the kind of good stress. So, another type of stress is distress. So, this is the bad stress. This is the kind of stress that gives you negative effects. So, instead of being motivated, it makes you feel sad, feel bad, to the point that you don't want to do anything anymore. You feel frustrated, exhausted, and worse is burnt out. One example could be a toxic working environment that you are no longer happy working in, or a toxic relationship na hindi ka na rin nag-enjoy or hindi ka na masaya or it's not healthy for you. So, that's the negative stress. Pero, alam mo ba that there was a study in US? They took a big population of people and simple lang naman, they asked them 2 questions. Unang tanong, gaano ka ka-stress? So, may rating scale sila, i-rate nila gaano sila ka-stress at that time. And second question, do you believe that stress is bad for you? Then after that, they took 8 years for that study and to check the status of those people that they surveyed. And you know what? A big percentage of those people died already. And a big percentage of those people who died are those people na nagsabi that stress is bad for their health. So, may mga tao na madaming stress, even tinanong sila gano'n ka-stress, nandito lampas tao yung stress ko, di ba? Nakakalunod, lampas tao. Pero, there are people na kahit lampas tao na yung stress na nararamdaman nila, they do not believe that stress is bad for them. Those who died, nakita ng studies na karamihan doon ay yung mga tao na naniniwala na ang stress ay masama para sa kanila. So, let's take this important thing. Stress is part of our lives. Whether it is good or bad, it's part of it. We cannot run away from it. Okay? And just like what we talked about on our previous episode, whatever happens in our lives, we need to bounce back. Kahit gaano pa katagal yung proseso, I hope we can bounce back. We can look at the other perspective that stress can be good. Actually, stress pushes us to do something. Kung may pangarap ka, may dream ka, tapos until now, wala ka pa rin ginagawa, nangangarap pa rin ikaw, diba? Pero you have not done any single step para ma-reach mo yun, and you realize that it pushes you, it wakes you up and pushes you to do something about it. Stress can also encourage you to become a better person or to do better. One thing that I learned from positive psychology of how can we cope stress is to make our everyday a holiday. Making your everyday a holiday, that means you are making something or doing something in your everyday life. Especially at this season, na nasa bahay lang tayo and we cannot really go out for a vacation, we may do simple things that we can call our simple joys every single day. Ano ba yung mga bagay na na-enjoy mo? Ano ba yung mga bagay na when you do it or when you have it, it makes you happy? So, kung hindi naman palagi and bihira lang naman yung mga delivery sa'yo ng Shopee at ng Lazada, that's a good thing because that is your simple gift to yourself. For myself, I really love food, especially drinks. I love coffee. And right now, I am enjoying making my own coffee, experimenting different flavors, and I really hope that someday I can share it with others. How about you? Maybe you love desserts. Or just by watching YouTube videos or YouTube channels, just like my YouTube. Or watching Netflix, diba? So, take a pause. Take a pause every day and make sure that you did something that makes you happy. And I just want to share this with you. You are not just barely living just to survive. I hope that you are not just waking up and doing your thing for a day just to survive the day and waiting for the next day to come and do the same. You are called to live your life to the fullest. But Joe, what should I do with my negative stress? You know what? I learned from someone, she is a health psychologist. Sabi niya, we should find meaning in whatever things that happens to us instead of avoiding discomfort. So I'm not saying that we should always laugh and smile and just rejoice. You know what? It says in the Bible, there's part in the Bible that tells us to rejoice always. In all circumstances, rejoice. Maybe you heard that already. And it's true. It's true that it is not true that you can just rejoice every time, all the time. Even Jesus did not rejoice all the time. When he was at the cross, he is not smiling. He even not laughing. So, that's not rejoicing, right? But, what we can learn from that is Jesus knows the meaning or the purpose of what's happening on his situation. And he is rejoicing because he knows that after that, salvation will come to men. We will be saved from our sins once he died on the cross. And same thing with us. There comes a situation, hindi ka masaya, pwedeng malugmukan ka ng mga problema. But, I want you to know that every situation in our lives, surely it will end. Matatapos din siya. And, there's a promise that a greater and a brighter future is awaiting for those who overcome. And I hope and I pray that as you live your life, God will bring life to your life. Okay? So, you will live life to the fullest, not just barely surviving. Okay? So, if you have that kind of story, I really want to hear from you. So, don't forget to watch my episode 1 and episode 2, and please like and subscribe. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, please help me reach that person by sharing this video and encouraging them to watch my YouTube channel. And if you have questions, that would really help me find my contents, and at the same time help me to have better discussions with you. Don't hesitate to comment down. Thank you so much. God bless you.